Oh, hello again. Is there a boom chick player in your life causing you trouble? Is there a theory nerd that just can't quite take the hint? If so, this is the song for you. I'm Nick Johnson. Let's learn Yeah, but where's the melody? Alright guys, here we go. Let's learn Yeah, but where's the melody? First and foremost, go check out the tabs. There will be a link below, and yeah, check them out. You'll be able to read along, and it's good for reference. Other than that, we can get right into it. It's a long song, so let's get to it. First thing you need to know is it's in DAD-GAD tuning. So for those that don't know, that's D-A-D-G-A-D. It's a common tuning in fingerstyle guitar. It's kind of one of my tried and trues. Whenever I need to write like a banger, I tend to go to it. And this is one of the first songs I wrote in DAD-GAD. So yeah, it's near and dear, DAD-GAD tuning. But so first and foremost, let's see. It starts with a boom chick intro. I put that in there just as kind of a stab to those guys, but so how do you do that? You palm mute, use your thumb, and I use the typical boom chick pattern, it's a very beginner pattern, so it's 6-4-5-4, and it goes like that. So that's the first little bit of the intro. Next, I use this D minor chord here. And so how it works is I hit the first bass note, and then every second bass note, I hit the chords, and that kind of carries through the intro. So it goes like this. I just pull off of there. Oh yeah, this D minor chord is kind of just like a D major, but up here on the 7th fret. So it goes. Right? So every other bass note, I'm picking the chord with the pull off in there or whatever. I'm staccatoing some of them. So the first one is staccato. Next one's sustained. The next two are staccato. So what that just means, you're just muting it. Lift your hand up, and you're just not playing it rung out. So you're kind of deadening the notes. So the next chord, it's kind of it's just a bar from the 4th string down to the 1st string on the 7th fret. And the bass pattern changes from 6-4-5-4 to just 5-4-5-4-5-4. So that sounds like that. And then I add a index finger on the 3rd string in between, so it's bass, index, and then the 3rd finger. So it goes like, let me play it real quick. Right? And it just pulls off of 10, pulls off of 8, pulls off of 10 on the 2nd string, and then it just repeats. So then I slide down to the 6th fret. I bar off the 5th fret, full bar. And then it goes back to the normal picking pattern, 6-4-5-4. So let's see. And then just every other one I hammer on. Ring out. 2, 3, 4. And then we'll get into the main riff right now. go. This is the main riff for Yeah, But Where's the Melody? Super fun, super groovy. There's little intricacies in there, so I'll try to point those out, but here we go. So we left off from that ring out, and then you count 2, 3, 4. Sometimes I slap the left hand when I'm playing it live, and then you just hit the biggest harmonic. The biggest harmonic you can. How I hit that, it's 5th fret from the 4th string down. And then I use these 2 fingers, my middle finger and ring, to strum it. And I hit a kick drum at the same time. So slide down from the 12th fret, and then we get right into the main riff. So the riff starts with a slap. It's a thumb slap. I slap the top 2 strings, 6 and 5, in a drop tuning that creates a power chord. And if you slap it, it's very, very prominent and very declaring of like, this is a heavy riff. I do that a lot in a lot of my songs. So, and I don't know, I just like how it sounds. But so I hit the slap and a kick drum at the same time. And then on the way up, I use my index finger and hit the 4th string open. Right? Now the next part's the slap part. It's a little weird just because of the timing. If you take it slow, you should be able to get it. It goes left hand, right hand, left hand. So, and I'm just hitting left hand on just to deaden the strings like a snare. Pretty, like you gotta put some force into it a little bit. And then right hand snare, and then left hand snare. So it goes. Right? So after the slaps, hit an open 5th string, and then you just hammer on to the 3rd fret. I would use my middle finger to do that, because you're going to go straight into like a C9 shape right after. So the next thing I do, I pick that whole chord and hit a kick drum at the same time. And then the next chord is I just take off my ring and pinky and lower my index finger down to the 3rd string, keeping the ring finger on the 3rd fret. And then the next part is it's one of the things, I've seen a lot of people play this song, and that's really awesome. But this is one of the things that I like to do in this song that I feel like makes it extra groovy. It gives it that little, I don't know, attitude or something. I call it a raking snare. So what I do, I put my pinky across the strings, and I rake down, and then hit a snare right behind it. And I think that's a cool technique because it kind of lets the snare hang back a little bit, and in groove that's a good thing. So right, it's cool. I don't know. It's just how I play it, but I think it's a good thing to have in your arsenal. You know, that raking snare. So after the raking snare, when I hit the snare, my thumb is still pressed down, usually with my thumb at an angle, so my nail is underneath the string. So, like that. And then the next move would be pull off on the up. So, right? And then I just hammer on 3-5 on the 6th string. And it starts over for a couple beats. Basically just that. and then the next chord is based off of that D chord again. I had the pinky up there on the 10th fret, and that goes you get the slaps in there too, and the open string. Then you hit that chord, top 4 strings with a kick drum, and then palm mute on the low 6. Take the pinky off and get that D chord, just played like that. Palm mute the 5th string. So that chord's just 4, 4, 3, 2, 1 barred on the 5th fret, and then I just hammer on pull off on the 7th fret. So it goes. Yep. Right. And it starts over again. So let's play that part real quick in full. So we got. So the next part, you start the riff over again, but then it slides down to the 1st fret. I'm playing a bar on the first 2, the 6 and the 5 string on the 1st fret, and then pinky finger on the 3rd fret, 4th string, and then open on the 3rd. That's a way of playing a minor chord in like a power chord way in Dadgad. And so it slides down, and then I just hit thumb pick, and kick drum at the same time, and then pick down. So it's pick down, snare, index on the 4th, bass, index, and then I go to this. It's kind of like a G chord, just your middle finger's on the 4th string on the 2nd fret, and I play the same thing. So. And then it just slides off the 6th string. And then starts over again. So we got. So it repeats until that little part. So it's. On the reverse snare on this one. You break down, hit the snare, and then keep it muted and hit 3-5, or you could hit it wherever, but since my hand's right there, that's where I tend to do it. So it's. You're kind of getting a triplet snare kind of thing. And then I just hit a harmonic at the end. So. And then that would be the top 2 strings on the 19th fret harmonics. I tend to use my pinky to grab those, and I keep my index finger straight, always straight. That's an accuracy thing. So, right, and then it goes. So let's play through that real quick. So we've already learned that part. And then it goes palm mute, 6, 5, 4, top 3 string harmonics on the 12th fret, bend for added effect. And then it's back into the riff, I think. Same thing. Then it switches and it goes further down that scale. So then I go to the first fret. So it's first fret, 5th string, power chord under that, and then pinky on the 3rd, 2nd string. Same picking pattern though. So it's I sometimes add a little hammer on in there. So sometimes I rake up my index finger as well. So if you can catch that, it's not necessary, but it's just something I've developed over the years of playing this song. Right? Same picking pattern though. And then I just use like a C major shape, same thing, same pattern. And then I go to the D there, 4th string, 3rd fret on the F. And then on that one I use the same picking pattern, but I'm hitting the harmonics with the pinky. Right? And then, so after those harmonics, then I rake up with the thumb, quick double chug, and then open 9th fret, 5th string, 9th fret, 5th string, hammer onto the 8th, pick the 9th, 8th, 9th, and that's basically it. So check that out, review it, let's get on to the next part. Alright guys, here we go. We're going to get into the C section real quick. If you noticed, I got a new shirt on. Had to stop, had some video troubles, but we're back at it. It's a couple days later. Continuity. But here we go. So we left off, we're finishing up the main riff. So at the end of that riff, let's see, how does it end? Right there we'll begin. I begin with a muted up thumb, like raking thing. It's from like the 4th string down. And then I do a quick 2 chug, palm muted. And then this little lick starting on the 9th fret, 5th string. So it's open, hammer on the 8th fret, pick 4th string, 7th fret, 8th fret, 7th, pull off to the 7th, and then another quick double chug. So far we got, and then we go straight back into the D minor that looks like a D major. So you pick that chord, then a snare, then I use that chord. It's the same kind of shape idea. I use this a lot in dadgad tuning, but it's middle finger, 10th fret, 6th string, 1st finger, 8th fret, 3rd string, and then ring finger, 10th fret, 2nd string, like that. Sorry, the third finger, first finger's on the 9th fret, 3rd string. My bad. So after you slide up to that chord, you pick that chord, which is just the 6th string, 3rd and 2nd string, and then hit the 12th string harmonic on the high E. So snare, then it goes back down, 8th fret, middle finger, 6th string, 1st finger, 2nd string, 7th fret, and so that goes. Then I hammer on with the ring finger onto the 8th fret, move the index finger up to the 3rd string. So we got. Then the snare hits on that 3rd string, right? And then I pick 6th string, 3rd, 2, 1, and that's pinky on the 10th fret. And then it's a snare, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, so I pick down, snare, then thumb right after. Right? So after I hit that chord, let me make sure I'm getting this right. Yeah, so you hit that chord, and then I do another up thumb strum. This one's not muted. So it's up, 1, 2, 3, 4. So. Right? So I slide back in the middle of that strumming pattern. So. And on the last 2 beats of that, I begin the kick drum. So it goes. Right? Then we hit open, hammer on the 3rd fret, 6th string, and then your index finger will be on the 4th string, 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the 3rd string, 3rd fret. So that kind of shape. And it goes kick drum, hammer on, pick, pick, pick. Just pick down the chord. So, alright. Then I hit a snare. Then hit. You take your ring finger off. And hit that chord. The 6th, 4th, and 3rd strings. Then the next chord, I just bar down, index finger onto the 3rd string, 2nd fret. Then I do the same strumming thing that I did on this chord. Right? Then slide up to this chord. It's an old familiar one. Bar on the 5th fret, pinky on the 2nd fret, 2nd string, 7th fret, and I palm mute down from the 6th. So let me make sure I'm getting this right. So it goes 6, 5, 4. Pick the chord. Pick again. And and there's a snare after the. So picks down, chord, snare, chord. Then we slide down to this chord really fast. That's 3rd string, 3rd fret. Same note, doubling up on the 1st fret, 2nd string, and then 3rd fret, 3rd string. So we got. Right? Okay. Yeah, you just got to play with those timings, take it slow. Yeah, they're kind of weird, and this part is very technical. It's hard to even explain it, but slow it down if you need to, and we'll get through it. So, immediately after that chord, I hit a 3rd fret harmonic. So I hit from the 4th string down, 4, 3, 2, 1, off the 3rd fret. How do you hit those harmonics? Good strings, new strings help a lot. One thing I try to do is instead of hitting it like where you would normally play, go back a little bit. Harmonics work, the farther you are away, the cleaner they are technically for the most part. And so to get those ones, I usually have to go back a little bit with the right hand. And sometimes I'll play with the left hand just in front of the fret. Instead of right on it like you would normal harmonics, I played just in front of it. They seem to come out a little clearer. So, let's recap. And I do like a kind of like a 3-finger like Raschiato kind of thing to hit those. Right? So, let's recap that part real quick. I'll play it slow for you guys. So then we start the next one. It just repeats for the most part. Starts with a slap this time. Same chords. And then this is the picking one. So it goes kick drum and bass. Pick down from the 3rd string. Right? I think I started teaching this one first, but just watch the video. They're a little different. But so kick drum, pick down, snare, bass, slide the chord back with the pinky. Let's see. And the kick and snare are riding during this part. The second time through, the kick and snare are still going. This is different. So instead of strumming this one out on the second time through, play the same pattern. Pick down with the thumb muted. First time the whole chord, lift off the pinky, and then the scale to end it is 4th string open, slide up to the 7th fret. 7, 5, pull off 5, open. we slide 3rd fret, 3rd string, just hammer on, I don't pick it. Pull off to 2, open, 4th string 3, 2nd fret 4th string, and then open. So, and when you pull off of that, you go straight back into the main riff. So, so the second time it goes through. So this section happens twice in the song. The first time it's played like that. The second time, the intro to it and the scale at the end are a little different. So I'll show you. The second time going into this section, it goes the same thumb up strum, chug chug, same pattern, and then I do a a little quadruplet thumb pick. So it goes. I think it's a triplet. Yeah. So a triplet. 1, 2, 3. And then it goes into the riff again. Okay. And then that's all. It's all the same until the very end. So you got. Wrong chord, sorry. Scale, it starts on the 5th fret, 3rd, open, and then same, right? So instead of, it's, and then it goes into the tapping section. Whew. We'll get to this tapping section now. Alright, here we go. Gonna keep chugging along. This is the tapping section. This part's pretty difficult to play. It's really hard to keep time on, even for me in live shows and stuff. It's really technical and I tend to speed up, so use a metronome when learning this part. And let's get right into it. Go piece by piece. So we started off from the end of the C section, so after that note comes straight in with a thumb tap, and how I do that, I don't know if you can see, I kind of angle my thumb down and almost use my nail to tap it, and that leaves these fingers free so you can tap in other spots, which is really cool, but it's hard when you first try to tap with your thumb, and it's still hard for me to get it every time, but a little practice, you should be able to get it. So you tap 6th string 8th fret with your thumb. So it's thumb, index finger, 3rd string 2nd fret, middle finger, 2nd string 3rd fret. Then you tap right hand index finger on the 7th fret, high E. Pull off to the 2nd fret, 2nd fret 1st string, and then hammer on to the 3rd fret. Pull off. So the timing on this whole part is a little weird. Certain parts ring out a little longer than others, but you just gotta hear for it, so. Right? So. Then you go down, I tap index finger, right hand on the 5th fret, 6th string, so. And then, 2nd fret, 3rd string, 3rd string, 3rd fret, then middle finger right hand taps on the 5th fret, 3rd string, and then just hammer onto the 2nd fret, 4th string, slide up, slide back, open, right? Okay, so that part goes like this. Then I tap right hand 8th fret again. So, let's see. So then it's 4th string 3rd fret with the left hand, 3rd string 5th fret. It's so hard to keep this in order. So then middle finger 2nd string 8th fret. So let's see. Yeah, that's right. So after the middle finger tap, pull off to the 1st fret, 2nd string, open. Then we go, I hit a harmonic with my thumb, or try, just to hit that open note. So then it goes 3rd string, 5th fret, 7th fret, 2nd string. Then I hit a harmonic, one hand, I pick it with my middle finger, 12th fret, 2nd string. Then hammer on high E, 5th, 7th, high E harmonic on the 12th. Right? So it goes. That's what it does. Sorry. Instead of going down here, that's the first time around. The second time around, it goes down here. But we'll get there. Bear with me, guys. Here we go. Repeats. Alright, so it does that twice. And then the next part, tap it on the 8th again, 6th string. And it does a little arpeggio. Kind of like a sweep pick arpeggio, but you're just hammering on with your left hand. So how does that go? It goes right hand, 3rd string, 2nd fret, 2nd string, 3rd fret, tap on the 8th, 2nd string, then 1st string with the left hand, then back down, then pull off at the end. Right? That gets pretty difficult to do. A lot of hand strength. It takes quite a bit to get those to sound out clear, but just lower your action a little bit and you should be all right. So here we go. So the timing on the bass changes a little bit, so it's right. It's hard to play slow. And that goes straight into the main riff again. Right? Then you just move it up. And that's just moves up to the 3rd fret, 2nd string. Then I hammer with my pinky on the 5th, 2nd string. Right? And same thing, just goes up to the D on the 12. And then you move up to the 7 and 9. Right? So that whole part goes like this all together. Then it goes into the same thumb part, but the timing is a little different. So it's the same notes though. I do go down to that. So let's see. Let's see. So. So the only thing that's different is the timing's a little weird. Just listen to it and try to get it down. Play it along with the video or whatever you got to do. It's just when I do the slap there, then I hit the harmonic, then I hit 5, 7, 8, then the harmonic. So, right? So, it does that twice. That was the regular timing. After that, I chug, go to this chord, 8th fret, 6th string, 3rd string, 5th fret. Then I hit a scale. It starts at the 8th fret. It's hard to play slow. So. Sorry guys, this stuff, it's messing with my head. That's it. Okay, 8th, 7th, 8, 7, 5, 3rd string, 7, and then back to 8 for the 5th string. Same chord shape, but off the 7th fret. And then I go slide to the D on the 5th string, 5th fret. Just hammer on 3rd fret to 5th, slide up to 7, and then I go back down to the 4th string, 5th fret, hit some harmonic, harmonics on the 7th fret harmonics, and then it goes into the timing, tempo change. Man, this one's getting wild, huh? There's so many parts. But let me play that whole section for you real quick, just to so you have an idea. So here we go. Starts with the thumb tapping. Slides down into the tempo change. Hopefully you guys got that. Just repeat it a few times. Go back if you need to. Let's get into I think it's the last section, the tempo change, and then everything repeats after that. So let's do it. Here we go. This is it. This should be the final chapter, the tempo change, and then the outro. I'm going to go through it kind of quick. This video is already super long, but let's get right into it. So we left off from coming out of the tapping section and then into the tempo change. And so I start here, first string 3rd fret, 3rd string 2nd fret. It's like a kind of a D chord, but I just break down all the way, open, no palm mutes or anything with my thumb, and then 2 palm mutes, then hammer off to the 2nd fret as 1st string, open on the 2nd string, then this chord we learned earlier, it's 1st fret, 5th string, the 5th on the 4th string, 3rd fret, 2nd string, 3rd fret, and it just goes 5, 4, and then the chord. There are these 2 fingers, 3rd and 2nd string. So we got then I hit 1st fret, 2nd string, pull off. So then it goes to that G chord that we learned. I hammer onto the 3rd string. It's not a G chord, but it's a G shape. That's how I think of it sometimes. So and I hammer onto the 3rd string, 3rd fret. Go up to the 4th string, 2nd fret, and then that slides up to the 5th fret, and then I do a little arpeggio, which is 3rd fret, 5th string to 7th fret, 5th string, then bar with the middle finger on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string of the 5th fret, 3rd string, 1st fret, hammer onto the 5th fret, and then pull off, and then back to that D minor chord. So we got and palm mute, 10th fret. Then I hit 2 chugs on the 5th string. So it's kind of hinting towards stuff we've already learned. Those chords are already in other places, but let's go through this whole part real quick. And then this is the same scale from the last part. I hit open, and then it repeats. So we got so it does that same scale, and then goes slide to the 5th fret 3rd string, down to the 3rd fret. Let's see. So yeah, it goes 5th, 3rd, 2nd, 4th string 3rd fret, down to the 2nd, 5th fret, 5th string, down to the 3rd, then to the 2nd, I believe. Let's see. And then it goes straight into the picking section, which is the same chords that we learned earlier. The picking pattern goes 5, 5, 4, 3, 5, 2, 5, 4, 3. Alright? Then this part stops short. I hit a snare and then 2 kicks on time. So we have same thing, just with the kick and snare. Keep the kick and snare going, just strumming. So instead of going to this D chord, it goes to just same, moved up. This part I hit, the kicks change, so hit double kick, and then I get a snare by hitting the rim with my nail after the strum, so that last kick drum, I just add another kick drum in there, kind of like double time. And then we go back into the intro. Cut it short. It's just power chords, 8, 7, back into the main riff. made it. That's the whole song. Hopefully that helped. This song was a little confusing. There's a lot of parts. It's tough for me to remember them all, playing slowly. But I hope you guys liked it. I hope you picked up something new that'll help your playing. Just use a metronome. Check out the tabs. If you guys like these videos, if you like the tutorials, let me know. Hit me up in the comments, and if you want me to keep doing them, I will. I think they're fun, so yeah, if you liked it, subscribe too. I guess I'll be that guy. Thanks for watching, guys. Have fun.